Hey, Bianca here. Welcome to Teach Like Bianca. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you when is the best time to start looking for a teaching position. So if you're out in the field right now as a substitute teacher, maybe you are student teaching, or maybe you're just trying to get out of the district that you're currently in, I'm going to tell you some tips and tricks on how to find the job that you want in the district that you possibly want it in, or maybe you're just trying to get the foot in the door and get a job anywhere. And I'm going to help you try to figure out and pinpoint when is the right time to start looking and putting in your application. First things first, start your application right now. There's no perfect time in waiting, especially if you already know where you want to be. Get your application in there and start filling it out, because it's going to take some time to get all the materials together. There are reference letters that you need to get. You want to make sure you have the right references, because a lot of times, as a person who sits on a lot of interview panels and calls references and checks references, I see a lot of people who put down references who are not great references for them. You want to make sure you are finding the right references for you. There's those recommendations for the position that you're in. You're going to need one from your current supervisor, a field placement supervisor, your cooperating teacher, somebody that knows your skills and knows what you can do in the classroom. If you are out and you're looking to possibly just move around within the district, you don't have to go to that length, but this is specifically for out of district, going to somewhere else where you're going to be new to people and people don't know exactly your expertise. There's also questions that are possibly questions you have to answer in the application process, which means that you have to be able to have some time to fill out those questions thoughtfully and carefully. If you're currently substitute teaching now, the best thing for you to do is to be in the district that you want to teach in. Sub in those districts that you want to make sure that people are seeing what you could do in the classroom, that you have strong classroom management skills, which is probably the biggest thing that you could do, that you're available, that you show up, you're dependable, and you're just a team player. You're flexible, you're able to cover classes when there needs to be. Those are some things that administrators are looking for within the school environment. Now, if you're student teaching in a district that you want to be in, just make sure you're going above and beyond. You're signing up for a little bit of extra things. I know you don't have a lot of time, and I know it's very demanding, but you're really putting your face and your name out there so that you are going to be a catch at the end of the school year. Or maybe if there's no available jobs in the school that you're in, that in that district, you're going to get a good recommendation from your cooperating teacher and that supervisor, that principal of that school that you're at, so that they can put some feelers out there for you. It's good to network, be able to get to know the district and the people in the district, and just kind of get an idea of what's happening in terms of movement, because a lot of administrators, they're going to know before it even gets out to the public who's leaving, what's the word in the hallways. Now, it's no secret that there's a lot of school jobs available, but there's also no secret that if you majored in English and you want an English teaching position or social studies and secondary ELA, secondary history, a lot of those teachers stay in those positions for years. So you want to make sure that you are starting your job search process as early as March. I know administrators, they start as early as January, February of before the following school year. So for teachers, start looking as early as March, April. A lot of school districts, their contracts go out in May. So they have a certain amount of days to return their contract to say, yes, I'm coming back for the school year. Even if they've signed their contract, they have until June 30th or maybe July 15th to really say that they're coming back for the school year. June 30th or July 15th, if they don't say that they want to come back, they are not going to get penalized within their contract. So that's when you really start seeing a lot more jobs coming out, is anytime after June 30th or that July 15th date, depending on the school district. It also depends on where it's going to be, because some districts on the West Coast, they don't start school until mid-August, late August, maybe even after Labor Day. But some school districts on the East Coast and the South, they might start a little bit earlier, as early as the end of July, because they get out so early in the school year. So you got to know what the school district school calendar looks like to get an idea when schools are going to be out, when they start, so you know when contracts are going to be going out and when contracts are need to be coming back in. And you could call the HR department and ask these things, or you can call the school union if it has one. And now if you're already a teacher and you're just trying to move from one district to another district, it's a lot easier for you because you kind of have idea how things are going to go. But what you really want to do is just make sure that you update your resume, make sure you get some updated recommendation letters, some references, and then start filling out that application process. The application process is lengthy. It could take you more than one sitting to do. So make sure you get all that stuff in. Fill out applications for at least 3 districts. And once you have your application done, it's as easy as just clicking, oh, I want to apply for this job. I want to apply for this job. You don't have to apply and have a full application setting for each position that you're applying to. Now, some applications questions might be different, especially if you're looking into special education versus looking into a first grade classroom. It depends on what your content area is. So you might have different questions, but the majority of questions, there's usually about 5 that are usually answering the same thing that pertains to the school district. And then when you get the interview with the school, then you have your other questions that you answer within the interview process. So those are my tips if you're looking to get a teaching job for the 2023-2024 school year. Make sure you start looking now. Start looking the job postings at all the districts that you want to work at and kind of get a feeler of what the movement's going to be looking like. Talk, ask around, sit inside the teacher's lounge, see what the word is and who might be leaving, who might be going on some maternity leave, anything like that you feel like you can snag up and pick up a job that you are going to be able to find your place there long term and really set your career off on the right path. Those are my tips for when you should start looking for your teaching job for the upcoming school year. Now, if you want some interview tips and strategies, go ahead and click the video down below. Bye, and I'll see you next time.